welcome back. Very good morning. So you all know that we are dealing with the concept of kinematics and its revision part. So in the last class, we have concluded the concept of average speed and average velocity, and at the same time uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So regarding this, let me give little more clarity of this terminology. When do we can say body is in uniform motion? When do we can't say body is in uniform motion? So first of all, let me recollect few points to you. A body is said to be in uniform motion if its velocity is constant. Next point. Whenever its velocity is constant, it covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Next point, we say the velocity remains constant when the particle moving along the straight path without changing the direction with constant speed, because velocity is a vector physical quantity. Whether the magnitude of speed varies or the direction of motion changes or both of them are going to change, then velocity is going to change, because velocity is a vector physical quantity. So during the uniform motion of a body, velocity remains constant. Let's look at the board. Here, a particle is moving at a constant speed of 10 meters per second, and then taking a turn at same speed 10 meters per second, and then taking a turn at same speed 10 meters per second. So do we see the motion of the body is uniform from A to B? Do we say? No. Here the speed of the body only remains constant, but the direction of motion changes continuously while moving from A to B. So we can see in this example, the body moving with uniform speed but not in uniform motion, because here velocity is not constant. Why velocity is not constant? Because the direction of motion changing continuously. Next, let's look at another example here. A particle moving along a straight path, so that at an instant of time its speed is 2 meters per second. At another instant of time its speed is 7 meters per second. But at another instant of time its speed is some 1 meter per second. So in this way, particle moving along the straight path without changing the direction of motion, but the speed of the particle changing continuously. So we can say the body is not in uniform motion, because the velocity is not constant. Why velocity is not constant? Though the direction of motion remains the same without changing, but the speed of the particle is going to change, so that the magnitude of velocity is going to change. Even here the body speed is not uniform even speed is also not uniform. So in the first case, velocity is changing due to change in the direction of motion. In the second case, velocity is changing due to change in the magnitude of speed or magnitude of velocity. Because I told you, when the particle moving along a straight path, distance traveled will be equal to displacement in the given interval of time. So that the speed of the particle will be equal to its velocity. That's the reason why, while I'm saying here the magnitude of speed changing, so that the magnitude of velocity is going to change, because both are same in straight line motion. You have learned this. Next, let's look at this here. See another example. Here a particle moving at 2 meters per second and then taking a turn moving at a 10 meters per second and then taking a turn moving at 7 meters per second. So during its journey from A to B, the particle is going to change the direction of motion continuously and also the magnitude of velocity. So here also I can say the body is not in uniform motion. Is not in uniform motion. Even speed is not uniform. Even. Even speed is not uniform. So finally, my conclusion is a particle is said to be in uniform motion if it moves along a straight track without changing the direction of motion and has the same speed at any instant of time, then we can say the particle moving with uniform velocity. So it is said to be in uniform motion. Of course, speed is also uniform, of course. This is the example that you need to understand. So my intention is to tell you when do the velocity of a particle remains constant and when do the velocity of a particle said to be changing. Yes, if the particle moving with a constant speed along a straight line without changing its direction of motion, then we say its velocity is uniform, so that it is said to be in uniform motion, or else it is said to be in non-uniform motion. So remember, if the speed of the particle is uniform, it is not compulsory that its velocity is uniform. But once its velocity is uniform, automatically speed will be uniform. Hope you got my point. A particle moving with uniform speed, then it will be in uniform motion. It may not be in uniform motion. It can't be in uniform motion. Have you got clarity? A particle moving with uniform speed. Then three options. It will be in uniform motion. It may be in uniform motion. It never be in uniform motion, which is correct. When the particle moving with uniform speed, it is not compulsory to be in uniform motion, but it may be in uniform motion if the motion is along a straight path. So second option is right. It may be in uniform motion. A particle is in uniform motion. A particle is in uniform motion. Then its speed must be uniform. Its speed might be uniform. Its speed never be uniform. I repeat. A particle is in uniform motion. Its speed must be uniform. Its speed might be uniform. Its speed never be uniform. So its speed must be uniform. Then only it will be in uniform motion. So these are all the little more conclusions that what we need to discuss about the concepts of change in speed, change in velocity concept. So that uniform motion and non-uniform motion concept. But here my point is to introduce you a different concept called acceleration. Yes, I'm telling about acceleration concept. We can say the body has a property called acceleration when there is a change in velocity. I repeat, when there is a change in velocity. Don't say when there is a change in speed. There is a change in velocity, then the body will have an additional property called acceleration. Yes, here there is a change in velocity because of change in direction of motion alone, because speed remains constant already. Here there is a change in velocity because of change in the magnitude of speed alone, because the direction remains constant. But here there is a change in velocity because the magnitude of speed changing continuously and the direction of motion changing continuously. So they all come under the category of accelerated motion. But whenever the motion is uniform, we say it is not accelerated motion, where acceleration of the particle will be zero. So my conclusion is all about another property, another variable of motion, which is acceleration. So we say a body is moving with acceleration when there is a change in velocity. Yes, a particle or the body can have acceleration when there is a change in the direction of motion alone, when there is a change in the magnitude of speed alone, or when there is a change in both magnitude of speed and the direction of motion. Then in all the cases the particle can have acceleration. Now our topic is all about the concept of acceleration. Once you go through it. Here our topic is all about the concept of acceleration. The point here it is, when a body is moving with a change in its velocity, then we say the motion is accelerated motion. But here, acceleration is a physical quantity that measures the change in velocity occurs in the body with respect to time. As the time going on, in what manner the change in velocity occurs within the body. This can be measured using a physical quantity called acceleration, which is represented by the letter E. Yes, there is a particular mathematical formula to measure the acceleration of your body. You know, many mathematical formula we have. To measure the speed of your body, we compare the distance covered by the body with respect to time. To measure the velocity of your body, we compare the displacement of your body with respect to time. Yes, which explains whether the body moves faster or slower with respect to time. Similarly, acceleration is a physical quantity that measures the change in velocity occurs in the body with respect to time. Yes, here acceleration is the measure of rate of change in velocity, which is well-known term that we discussed even in the earlier classes of mathematics in physics. It's a rate of change in velocity means what? Yes, it means change in velocity per unit time. Change in velocity per unit time. For example, here a body is in motion. Suppose for some time it is moving along a straight line. You suppose for some time. At an instant of time, the velocity of the body is u at an instant of time. At the moment I have seen the particle, it is moving with a velocity u. Yes. At that moment I have started my observation. So time interval of observation is 0. Because at the moment I have seen the particle, its velocity is u. So the time interval of observation is 0. But after some interval of time, which is t seconds, there is some interval of time, t seconds, where the velocity of the particle is found to be v. Yes, then the acceleration of the particle is measured as change in velocity per unit time. Here you see the velocity of the particle changes from u to v in the interval of t seconds, because here t equal to 0, here at t seconds. So during the interval of t seconds, the velocity changes from u to v. So the change in velocity means v bar minus u bar, because velocity is a vector physical quantity. For this interval of t seconds, you can term it as initial velocity and you can term it as final velocity. Don't think that final velocity means the velocity of the body just before going to stop. Don't think that initial velocity means the velocity of the body just after starting. No. As the body is in motion, at an instant of time when you have started your observation towards the motion of the body, at that moment the velocity is initial velocity. And you are observing the motion of your body for certain interval of time, might be 2 seconds or 20 seconds. Then at that moment, at the end of your observation, you call it as the final velocity. So change in velocity is v bar minus u bar, because velocity is a vector. In what interval of time? T seconds. So there is a change in velocity occurs in the interval of t seconds. Then change in velocity per unit time for 1 second means total change in velocity by total interval of time. Then you will get a change in velocity occurs per unit time. This is the measure of acceleration. Of course, if you wish to know the value, you can apply the magnitude because it's a vector term. So you can write modulus of a bar equal to modulus of v bar minus u bar by 2. Because velocity is a vector physical quantity. So while talking about a change in velocity, we should be aware of vectors concept. So that acceleration is also a vector, there is no doubt. Acceleration a bar can be written as 1 by t into v bar minus u bar. Hope you got clarity. Here time is a scalar, 1 by time is also a scalar. V bar minus u bar is a vector because v bar and u bar are the velocity vectors, so their difference is also a vector. A vector multiplied with a scalar, the product will be a scalar, and both the vectors will be in the same direction. Acceleration can be written as 1 by t into v bar minus u bar. Here this v bar minus u bar is a vector multiplied with a scalar. Then product also will be a vector, so that both vectors are in the same direction. So what you need to understand, acceleration will be in the direction of acceleration will be the direction of change in velocity. You have learned in vectors how to calculate the direction of a bar minus b bar, direction of a bar plus b bar. You have learned all those things. So we connect with that vectors concept while dealing with acceleration, because acceleration will be in the direction of a change in velocity vector. Remember that. Acceleration is a vector physical quantity which is in the direction of change in velocity vector. Next, acceleration is measured as change in velocity per unit time, or it is known as the rate of change in velocity. How do we calculate the change in velocity per unit time? Total change in velocity divided by interval of time, then we get change in velocity per unit time, which is the measure of acceleration. Of course, what you are expecting is right. I have calculated change in velocity per unit time, which is the measure of acceleration. Then in the formula, numerator is total change in velocity occurred during some interval of time t. So whenever I have considered the change in velocity occurred during some interval of time, then obviously this acceleration will be termed as average acceleration. Do you remember while speaking about average speed, do you remember while talking about average speed, total distance traveled during some interval of time. Then total distance by interval of time will give distance traveled per unit time, but which is an average speed, an average value. 20 overs innings, 180 runs. Then 180 by 20 will give 9 runs per over, which is an average value. It doesn't mean that every over the batsman has scored 9 runs. No, it's an average value. Similarly, when I am calculating acceleration as the measure of a change in velocity per unit time, my formula is total change in velocity occurred divided by interval of time, so that I do come across average acceleration. Means acceleration for certain interval of time we are calculating. On considering change in velocity during certain interval of time, we are able to calculate change in velocity per unit time, so it is called average acceleration. Sir, I wish to know instantaneous acceleration. Acceleration at a particular instant of time. Then instantaneous acceleration, which is well known to you, dealt in mathematics in physics. Instantaneous acceleration is given by derivative of velocity with respect to time. A equal to dv by dt. If you wish to write in vector form, a bar equal to dv bar by dt. So on differentiating velocity with respect to time, we come across instantaneous acceleration. Like differentiating displacement with respect to time, we come across instantaneous velocity. Of course, instantaneous speed can be given by speedometer. So, but instantaneous acceleration can be given by differentiating velocity with respect to time. So this is the concept that you need to understand about average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration. Related to this, we have examples in mathematics and physics anyway. So this is all introduction to the concept of acceleration. Now coming to its units, as you have learned its definition, its formula and its units now. In CGS system, change in velocity centimeter per second by time interval seconds. So your unit will be centimeter per second square. Whereas in MKS system or in SI system of units, it will be meter per second square. So the CGS unit of acceleration is centimeter per second square. MKS or SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Of course, if you measure the speed or velocity in terms of kilometer per hour and the time interval is measured in terms of hours, you can express it in terms of kilometer per hour square. There is no issue in that. These are all called practical units. When you are expressing speed in kilometer per hour or velocity and time interval in terms of hours, then units of acceleration will be kilometer per hour square. So this is all a theoretical information on the concept of acceleration. Now we discuss a few examples because you know acceleration occurs when there is a change in direction of motion alone, though the speed remains constant. Acceleration occurs when there is a change in speed even though direction remains constant. And if both are changing, then also acceleration occurs. So we discuss different examples of measuring acceleration numerically. Meanwhile, once note down this. Here, let us discuss few numerical examples to understand the concept of acceleration in detail. See, in the first example, here is the first example. A particle is moving along a straight line without changing the direction of motion. At an instant of time, at the moment I have seen it, it is moving with a speed of 7 meter per second towards east. And at 2 seconds, exactly at 2 seconds, whenever I am writing here t equal to 2 seconds, it means it is the end of 2 seconds. This moment is the end of interval. Just 2 seconds interval of time was observed. And at that moment I found its velocity is 10 meter per second. The speed is. So at t equal to 0, when I have started observing the motion of a body, its speed is 7 meter per second. But at t equal to 2 seconds, at t equal to 2 seconds means at the end of 2 seconds, remember. Its speed is 10 meter per second. Now I wish to calculate the acceleration of the particle during this interval of 2 seconds over the interval of 2 seconds as there is a change in velocity. Why there is a change in velocity? Though the direction of motion remains constant, there is a change in magnitude of velocity. That's why it has acceleration. So let me calculate acceleration of the particle during the interval of 2 seconds. How can I calculate? Yes, I know that a bar equal to v bar final velocity vector minus initial velocity vector by t seconds, t for time interval. So here your initial velocity vector, initial velocity means velocity of the particle at t equal to 0. At the moment I start my observation, it is 7 meter per second, but vector form I have tried. So let me write it as 7 I cap because horizontally right. So let me write it as 7 I cap meter per second. So that its final velocity vector v bar equal to 10 I cap meter per second because body moving in the unique direction. Then acceleration vector a bar equal to v bar minus u bar by time interval 2 seconds is equal to 10 I cap minus 7 I cap. It is 3 I cap by 2. This is equal to 1.5 I cap meter per second square. So this indicates that your acceleration is in the direction of positive x-axis because you got 1.5 I cap. So the magnitude of acceleration is 1.5 meter per second square towards the positive x-axis. Positive x-axis means I told you it is east basically, towards east, due east. So this is how you can say the direction and magnitude of acceleration. Let me give you a different example from the first one. Here a particle is moving along a straight line, there is no doubt. But at the moment I have seen the particle, its speed is found to be some 12 meter per second. But at 2 seconds its speed found to be some 8 meter per second. Body moving along a straight line without changing the direction of motion. Of course, you suppose it is moving towards east even this time. But its speed is changing from 12 meter per second to 8 meter per second during interval of 2 seconds. It means its initial velocity vector u bar equal to 12 into I cap because u east positive x-axis, and final velocity vector is 8 into I cap because moving in the same direction. Then acceleration vector equal to v bar minus u bar by time interval 2 seconds. Here 8 minus 12, that's why it is minus 4 I cap by 2. This is going to be minus 2 I cap meter per second square units. This is noted. So now here very important point, the acceleration of the particle is minus 2 I cap meter per second square. What this answer is explaining to you? What this answer info to us? Yes, the magnitude of acceleration of the particle is 2 meter per second square along the negative x-axis because it is minus 2 I cap. Negative x-axis means towards west. Towards west. This is very important conclusion that you need to remember. So let me give you more clarity. Once look at the first example. A particle is moving along a straight line without changing the direction of motion, but its speed changing from 7 meter per second to 10 meter per second. So what you have observed, the speed of the particle has been increased with the time. But look at the second example. Particle is moving along a straight line without changing the direction of motion, but its speed changing from 12 meter per second to 8 meter per second. Means the speed of the particle has been decreased. In the first case, the direction of acceleration remains towards east. But in the second case, the direction of acceleration is towards west. This is what my conclusion to be explained here. As the speed of the particle is increasing, as the magnitude of velocity increases, then direction of acceleration will be in the direction of motion. But if a particle is moving with decreasing velocity means there is a decrease in the magnitude of velocity, then the direction of acceleration will be against the motion. So very important conclusion. Once again I repeat, you write. When a particle is moving with increasing velocity, the direction of acceleration will be in the direction of motion. But when the particle is moving with decreasing velocity, the direction of acceleration will be against the motion. This is what the conclusion that I can give here. Of course, whatever you learned, the direction of acceleration is in the direction of change in velocity. Yes, true. But the direction of a change in velocity is in the direction of motion itself when velocity is increasing. If velocity decreases, then it will be against the motion. This is what the conclusion you have to write. Next, here the acceleration of the particle is positive, but here acceleration of the particle is negative. And of course, you supposed the direction of acceleration will be against the motion. But in addition to that, as the magnitude of velocity is increasing, you can say the motion is accelerated motion, and if the magnitude of velocity gradually decreases, you have to say the motion is decelerated motion. So another conclusion is on the board. If a particle is moving with increasing velocity, it is said to be accelerated motion. If a particle is moving with decreasing velocity, it is said to be decelerated motion. The best example, a train departing from the station. So its speed gradually increases with the time. Then it is accelerated motion. If a train is arriving to the station, then its speed gradually decreases. It is said to be decelerated motion. Of course, the very important thing here it is, you got a bar equal to minus 2 I cap meter per second square. So that the magnitude of acceleration is 2 meter per second square towards west. That's all fine. But here the very interesting point, acceleration value, when you wish to say acceleration value, magnitude of acceleration is equal to, it is certainly minus 2 meter per second square. But deceleration is going to be 2 meter per second square. Because there is a reason, deceleration nothing but a negative of acceleration. Deceleration is nothing but a negative of acceleration. That's the reason why, as acceleration is minus 2 meter per second square, indicating the body moving with a decreasing velocity, so deceleration is always a positive value. So in this particular second example, the acceleration of the particle is minus 2 meter per second square towards west. So, and at the same time, deceleration is 2 meter per second square. Have you got clarity? Here, the magnitude of acceleration is 2 meter per second square, but direction is towards west. Don't forget that. Sir, no sir, I wish to say it is in the direction of east. Let me write more clearly here. Acceleration is 2 meter per second square due west. Acceleration is minus 2 meter per second square due east. Because you know, if the direction is reversed, then the sign will be changing in the case of vector physical quantities. So this example only you need to concentrate more. This example is nothing, it is very simple. Here you need to concentrate more. A particle is moving towards east, changing its velocity from 12 meter per second to 8 meter per second. So that the direction of acceleration will be against the motion. So what is its acceleration? 2 meter per second square towards west. But if I wish to say in the direction of east, it is minus 2 meter per second square. Because I told you, when the particle moving with the decreasing velocity, its acceleration will be against the motion. So acceleration is 2 meter per second square towards west, no doubt. In the direction of east, it is minus 2 meter per second square. Of course, that negative acceleration minus a is equal to 2 is called deceleration, where you should be very clear of this point. So hope you got some conclusions from this. Once you replay the video and once watch it for twice or thrice, then write the conclusions properly. So in this particular example, we have dealt with the acceleration of the particle due to change in the magnitude of velocity, so the direction remains same. Now here we have to discuss in what way acceleration of the particle can be measured when the magnitude of velocity remains constant but the direction changing continuously. And we need to discuss about acceleration of the particle when the direction and the magnitude of velocity is going to change continuously. So these are the examples that are left to discuss. That we are going to discuss in the next class. So make sure that you are up to the mark with the theory of acceleration and the little more numerical part of acceleration. And one more thing, it is negative acceleration is called deceleration. Deceleration is also known as retardation. When do we say particle is moving with the deceleration? When the particle moving with a decreasing velocity, then we say it is moving with a deceleration. It is a retarded body, a retarded motion. Make sure that. And moreover, we are all talking about here average acceleration, because we are calculating change in velocity per unit time on taking some interval of time into account. So this is all about the concept of average acceleration. Whereas instantaneous acceleration A equal to dV by dt, which we were dealt already in the case of mathematics and physics differentiation concepts. You can refer them once. So this is all the little more explanation on the concept of acceleration. We meet in the next class with a few more examples related to the calculation part of acceleration. No doubt.